Our room is nothing special. Fold-out bed, small card table, and a bathroom. Honestly, it wasn't much bigger than the apartment me and Simone shared. The only thing missing was a kitchen, and I could get pretty comfortable. Ken drops his saddlebag on the ground and examines the place, looking mildly impressed.
At least the toilet isn't in the middle of the room like the last one I stayed at.
That sounds like prison. Sorry. Jesus. Shoves past me and hangs his jacket up by the door, stretching until his joints pop. Oh my.
Fuck. Driving for hours at a time really does a number on you.
I can imagine. Whenever I'd help old Mrs. Henderson with plowing the fields, my muscles would ache for days. He eyes me up and down in disbelief.
Huh. Didn't take you for the working sort.
Ouch. Well, it's not like we know each other much.
True. Prove it then.
Alright. I awkwardly undo my shirt and show off my upper body. I've known my fair share of hard work. His mouth hangs agape before he shakes his head, rolling his eyes in an exaggerated fashion.
Please, that's nothing. Take a look at this. Take a look at this.
Oh my. So we seem to be having a shred off. Before I can say anything, he whips off his tank top and pants, revealing his perfectly sculpted torso. Of course he is. His fur is darkly rich and dense. The light gently frames his neck and shoulders like a halo, and his gold chain contrasts perfectly against his sable palette. How the hell did you get so ripped just riding a bike? He smiles smugly, having clearly won this battle.
I do a set of 100 push-ups whenever I have some free time. These motels can get pretty boring.
Well, yeah, but how do you get such much definition? I rub my flat stomach sadly.
Dehydration, mostly. Yours are actually healthier, since you have a good layer of fat over them.
There was a weird-ass sound effect. He rubs his hand over my stomach and my knees buckle for a moment before he pulls back.
Don't. Yeah, mine used to feel like exactly that before I hit the road. I pretty much only drink coffee and beer these days.
With the tongue sticking out. I try to recover from the unexpected belly rubs and attempt to ask him my next question with a straight face. Wait, really? How do you manage to get any sleep?
Maybe once every 2 or 3 days.
What? I hear a shush from the next room over and cover my muzzle out of shame. Ken chuckles and rolls his eyes.
Yeah, I try to stay up as long as possible to cover more distance. Plus, let's just say me and sleep don't get along very well, okay?
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. The mood starts to shift, and I try to be genuine with him for a moment. Are you running from something? Uh-oh. He looks away, rubbing his arm awkwardly. Sorry. Shit. He eases down on the bed and stays quiet for a while. I grab a chair from the card table and drag it over, sitting to face him. We can talk about the hard stuff, you know. It doesn't have to be today or even tomorrow.
I just don't know what you want me to say.
Well, what do you want to say? I sigh and take some time to find the right words. There's all sorts of things I don't understand. Not just with whatever sent me here, either. His interest seems piqued, but he refrains from commenting. My grandma. She always had an answer for everything.
Don't they always?
Except for when there was no answer.
Hmm?
But of course, she had an explanation for that, too. He looks confused, but nods for me to go on. Pain isn't deserved, it's destined.
What does that mean?
Bad things can happen to anyone. Good, bad, rich, or poor. So if one day your life takes a weird turn and it feels like the whole world is against you, it's probably not something you had any control over.
But what if?
He stops and lets his composure relax for the first time, ears lowered.
What if you did do something bad? Is it still not deserved?
I think for a bit. This is a point me and Gran never could agree on. I think that depends on whether you think there are only good or bad people. He looks away, not convinced. You're not a bad person, Ken.
You don't know anything about me.
I don't think you would have been in that place if you were. Another bout of silence falls over us, and I can feel the energy in the air. Gears are moving in his head.
Christ, give me a second.
He sits up straight and clears his throat.
Do you ever feel like, I don't know, there's something else pulling the strings, making you feel things, see things, hell, even do things you don't want to do?
Like God? Or he shifts closer to me, sitting on the edge of the bed.
No, nothing like that at all.
Sometimes, yeah. That's what I think landed me here with you.
Why do you keep saying that? What is it that you think happened?
I take a deep breath and try to explain everything as calmly as possible. The bar. I appreciate that in every route they have done it like this, where they don't make me sit through an explanation of what we experienced. I appreciate this small detail. I want to give a small shout out to this detail in every route, in this equivalent of this moment. The bar, Virgil, meeting him and everyone else at the Golden Place. That indescribable mix of nostalgia and sadness we all felt. The conversation we shared. I felt myself tearing up by the end. He looks pensive, eyes darting around, adding up information. Ken.
Shh. Sorry.
After a few minutes, he stops and nods.
Gray.
Yes?
I think I believe you. It's more like I have to believe you, actually.
I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. He gets up and starts pacing around the room, muttering to himself incoherently. The animation.
No, because that would explain. Right.
Ken? Oh.
Oh! I'm still thinking.
Okay. I sigh and lay down on the bed, feeling today's journey start to weigh on me. The room having no clock or windows is a silent blessing. It's better to pretend I'm in a timeless void rather than reset my circadian rhythm. Sleep is sounding better and better as I curl up while holding a pillow as Ken keeps talking to himself. Right now, the only thing keeping me awake is the smell of old coffee on my fur and Ken's voice. I feel like I could sleep for a week. Sleep. Suddenly, I feel the bed creak next to me. Look over my shoulder and I'm faced with Ken's broad back. Ken! Are you sure? He sighs and waves dismissively at me, his big arm dropping like a rock and hitting the bed with a soft thud.
Yep. No sense in making a fuss about it at this point. I trust you're not some freak who's gonna try and touch me the second I fall asleep, yes?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna touch you, man. Not without permission, anyway.
Good. Yawn. Night speed bump. It's gray.
He repeats what I said in a mocking tone.
It's gray.
When we're turning off the lights, I groan and toss a blanket over us, trying to get cozy without invading his territory. Hey, Ken. What does deserto de te... I don't fucking know. Let's get the translate out again. It is translating to I certainly want you or I really want you.
I don't know. It sounds like Spanish. No, Portuguese.
I can't tell the difference on spec, and I apologize for that. That is a failure on my part. What the hell is Portuguese? God damn it, that reminded me of that dumbass Family Guy joke. That's geese on the porch. That's a Portuguese. And we're just getting started. God damn it. Dreams sure are weird. Lots of dots. Less dots now. Followed by even less dots. I'm still awake, despite keeping my eyes shut for what feels like hours. I had a feeling it might end up this way. My mind is still spinning, trying to figure out what's going on. Even putting logic and the rules of physics aside, it's all nonsense. What does Virgil gain from setting me on this course? And Ken seems to be already going through some shit separate from this. I don't want to complicate things. Would one of the others have been a better choice? It feels fucked up to say, but if the point was to save these guys, surely I want to leave them with as little damage as possible. Sigh. Wondering about what it could mean is pointless. Until I get more information, I just have to go with my gut. I shift my weight and a bed spring pokes under my hip. Ah, God. I grumble and flip over, hoping that helps. Yellow! A glimmer of light flashing across my eyelids, and I gently crack an eye open, confused. Yeah, that would be confusing because there's no windows in here. Also, nice picture of Ken. Ken's asleep, at least. Why the fuck? There's no windows in here. Why the fuck would there have been light? His whiskers dance as he breathes in and out, his giant frame making the blanket rise and fall. Ken's face looks so gentle right now. What the hell has he gone through to make him act this way? Suddenly another flash of light. Oh, shit. It's his glowing eyes. How the fuck his eyes glow? You can't sleep either? He shakes his head, those bright yellow eyes practically glowing.
I could sort of feel you staring. Is that weird?
Shake my head. No, and Sorry, didn't mean to wake you up.
It's okay.
Yeah?
I'm the one who should be sorry. I mean, I hurt you.
It's fine. I'm not actually hurt.
Don't say it's fine. Both know it's not. That isn't how a normal person would act. Stop bullshitting me and admit that I'm a giant red flag. Tell me this is stupid and tell me to leave.
Whoa! 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 Jesus, that... I have seen that before.
I don't need to sleep. I can grab my bike and be out of here before the other two even notice. Come on. Let's do it.
No.
Why? Why are you being stupid? Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Because if I did that, I'd be admitting I'm a fuck up too.
What? How?
You don't know anything about me either, remember?
Alright, I get it. Thanks.
We lay in silence, letting the cool night air wash over us. I've never seen such a vulnerable expression from him before. Those eyes are searching again. Did you want to say something? I promise, whatever it is, I won't laugh.
Could you hold me? Forget it,
Okay, turn over.
Huh?
Sit up and lean on an elbow, scratch it behind my ear with the other hand. I don't think you want me to hold you face to face. My morning breath is pretty bad.
You.
Chuckles and turns over. I hear the sound of sniffling muffled by my blanket. By the blanket.
You asshole.
I move in close and line up our bodies, wrapping my arms around his midsection and squeezing firmly. I deliberately choose not to spoon him. This isn't a sexual need. This is a deep, childlike need to be accepted. I feel him purr in my arms for a few seconds before silence washes over us again. I feel very uncomfortable. Just do it for him. Do it. Holy God, what the fuck? Something digs into my stomach and pushes me off the bed. Before I even hit the ground, I see his glowing eyes staring down at me in fear. He's standing against the far wall, holding his chest and panting. Fucking hell! Ken, what happened?
Stay right there!
What are you...
You fucker, you knew.
What? I wince as the pain from his kick starts to register and try to stand up, holding my hands out defensively. Calm down.
Don't fucking try it. Stop trying to get in my head. All those nice words just trying to...
Whoa. Whoa, that is not... Starts coughing and holding his throat, looking around frantically.
Did you put something in the water?
What water? Can you ask me to hold you?
Shut up! I would never do that! Just shut the fuck up!
Grabs a chair and smashes it on the wall behind him. It splinters into pieces and he rips off one of the legs, a bent nail poking out of the end. Ken, stop! Don't!
I'm not gonna hurt you, liar! His angry expression suddenly cools into a flat, emotionless stare. It puts me on edge even more. You made me say those things, didn't you? No! And you used that memory to fool me. Oh, you're a clever one. He starts slowly walking over to me, tapping the weapon against his thigh. Ken, please. A dangerous one. Just as he starts to round the corner, I hear the clamoring of feet outside the door. I won't scream that. It's help. Someone slams the door with a heavy shoulder, knocking it off its hinges. Harsh daylight floods the room, and I see Jesse, his broad frame casting a shadow across the room. Bad move, son. You too? Was everyone in on this? Jesse, don't hurt! Oh god, they're hugging. He nods and swiftly clears the distance between them, grabbing Ken's wrist and squeezing until the weapon falls to the ground. Fucker. Oh god, he rears back with his other fist, shoving a knee into Jesse's crotch. Oh god, what the fuck is happening, bro? No! Oh, Jesus. The Martin quickly gets between them, hanging off of Ken's arm like a toddler. Gray, get out of here! Takes a few seconds to register just how far this escalated, and I pick myself up, charging out of the door into the sunlight. Gray! Gray! Let me go! Don't look back. I scurry out into the hallway and slam into the railing, nearly sailing over it. Seeing the long way down, I regain my balance and push off towards the stairs, running blindly as soon as I hit the grass. Gotta run. Escape. But where? I slow down and catch my breath, collapsing onto a grassy knoll overlooking the open road. You had to use that phrase. This is so stupid! I'm fully awake now. It feels like early afternoon, though the skies are overcast, so it's hard to tell. The sun shines defiantly through the clouds, burning my sleep-deprived eyes. I feel a sting on my bicep and examine it to see a small cut. Beads of dark blood forming towards the center. Must be from when he kicked me. One of his toes cut my arm? Feline claws are notoriously sharp. I lick the wound. You lick your bicep? His mouth is a lot longer than mine. Makes sense. I lick the wound and press on it with my other hand, wincing in pain. Ken. Tears start welling up again. Not because of him this time. I don't know what I'm doing here with another group of people. People are complicated. Complications cause drama. Drama causes pain. I'm so tired of causing others pain. The bleeding starts to slow down and I examine the cut from my brow, thinking about my attacker. I tried to be as careful as possible. I didn't flirt with him. I didn't take advantage of his vulnerability. I didn't even look him in the eye half the time. Honestly, I don't find him very attractive at all, even though by all accounts I should. I can't put my finger on why. Maybe it's just his personality. Just like Sam. It's just like Sam, isn't it? Except with him, I hear footsteps and turn around to see Colt standing behind me, huffing and puffing. You alright, Gray? Yeah, I think so. You're, Oh, fuck it, it's fine. Come, sit. Okay. What's going on back there? Jesus, like... He brushes his tail out of the way and plops down next to me. Jesse. He's calming Kim down.
He stopped trying to fight us just after you left. He was just kind of staring at the wall. Huh. Well, that's good, right? I don't trust him, Gray. I don't think he should stay with us. You don't trust me either, remember? His whiskers twitch and he looks at the ground, flustered. You're different. This life, it's a hard one. You don't meet kind-hearted people very often. You really think I'm kind? You're not unkind. Reach over and pat him on the shoulder. I like this guy. Dots. Well, I'm gonna go check on the others. You good out here? I nod. Okay, stay put. Jumps on his feet and jogs back to the motel. Not so difficult after all. So it seems. I sigh and stretch out on the grass, watching the clouds roll by for a while. The sounds of the cars zipping by and the occasional gentle breeze almost lull me back to sleep, but my heart is still beating frantically in my chest. Emotions are complicated. I'm happy I ran into people like Colt and Jesse. I'm sympathetic, yet terrified of Ken. I'm confused about what any of this has to do with the Golden Place. On top of all that, I feel ashamed that I wanted to kill myself. Maybe even more ashamed that I'm still alive after making such a show of it. When I get back home, I know I'm gonna get the most lip from Jean. He'd probably say something like, anything to skip out on Randy, and kick me out for a week before Simone could convince him otherwise. Actually, knowing him, I could convince him just to pull that trump card I've been saving and finally top him. Jesus Christ. I'm getting ahead of myself. First things first, let's figure out what to do with Ken. Holy Christ, Gray! I jump in surprise and shriek, followed by a raspy cough. Ken, what the fuck?
Dude, relax.
Like he has any business asking me to relax. I look past him and see Jesse and Colt watching us from the staircase. Jesse gives me a thumbs up, while Colt smiles nervously. What do you want? He looks away for a moment, listening to the birds singing in the trees. It's a pretty song.
I'm sorry for hurting you. I know, that's a dogshit apology, considering.
He sighs and sits next to me, leaning on his kneecaps. He speaks without looking at me.
You know what you did, right?
No, I don't. Ken rolls his eyes and chuckles to himself.
It's whatever. I'm not mad about it anymore.
Okay.
I know I'm probably being the crazy one here, but whether or not you remember, it hurt me.
I'm sorry something I did hurt you.
Don't apologize. Sort of impressive that you even could.
I am so lost.
But in all seriousness, you have to promise me something.
Another promise. What? I'm not a that word.
Alright. Don't act that way around me.
But you... No, whatever. Fine. I'm not a that word either, for the record. I like women plenty, too.
Neat.
Still a that word. Fuck off. I sigh and get up, taking a minute to stretch while Ken lights up a cigarette. How old are you anyway?
Huh? I'm 21.
Jeez, he looks way older than that. Life has not been kind to him. I'm 25. That makes me your senior.
Okay. You want a cookie, Grandpa?
That's exactly how I expected him to respond. Sheesh, what a brat. These post-war kids really have no manners. Anyway, there's something that's been nagging at me since last night.
What?
The conversation we had about weird shit. What kind of experiences have you had? He looks skeptical at first, but his expression becomes pensive. Give him as much time as he needs to collect his thoughts. Oh God. The sky starts to shift towards early evening. I'd taken up to making daisy chains or looking for four-leafed clovers in the grass in the meantime. Jesse and Colt stayed nearby, watching us carefully the whole time. Colt came over a few times to sit with me and make small talk. I'm grateful for everyone's patience. I think they want things with Ken to work out as much as I do, even if it's only for practicality's sake. Eventually, Ken clears his throat, and I turn to face him eagerly.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I ruled out this stuff that was just people messing with me. Well, there's a huge gray area with that, but still, here we go.
He takes a deep breath.
So, I had to rip the radio out of my bike. I kept hearing things.
The hum, it's a crossover with Echo. Sorry. What kind of things?
Like, I keep hearing my name. Not just sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I'd switch between stations, but it would never stopped. They kept talking directly to me, from Frank Sinatra to the 6 o'clock news.
What'd they say?
You know what you did.
A chill goes up my spine. I've heard that phrase in my head many, many times. Whoa. What could they be talking about?
I don't want to get into that. Not yet. But I have to stay on the move. They're gonna get me if I stay in one place too long.
Something is clearly not clicking, though. Okay. Anything else?
That's the main one. Sometimes I see stuff that other people don't. I think I saw it behind you, back during the fight.
I think back to when he was brandishing that broken chair and wonder what his intentions might have been, but I don't bring it up. I see. You'll have to tell me next time you see it. We have to be careful. He nods, not a shred of doubt behind his eyes.
And what about you, Gray?
Well, my grandma would talk about magic a lot, folklore from back in the old country.
Where?
I'd look to the side and try to say it quickly in one breath. Arlen.
Oh. Okay.
Right. Well, to put it simply, she tried to show me the magic in everything growing up. At least whenever my father wasn't poking around. Sometimes I get the feeling they weren't just fairy tales, especially after what I told you before. There's a power. Sometimes I can feel it running through the grass when I lay on it. I have these dreams of another me in another place. When I'm there, I swear I can see the trees bend, talk to each other like people do. I've parted a river with my staff as if I was Moses himself. And sometimes the me from that dream stays behind after I wake up.
Do you ever just wake up already in the middle of doing something? Like you don't remember how you got there?
Yes, all the time. It scares the hell out of me. Ken looks at you with a genuine smile, the light of the setting sun catching his golden eyes.
Me too. But we're not alone now. I just hope I don't jinx you.
I may believe in magic, but not dumb stereotypes.
Yeah, right.